Greetings, my friends. Welcome to our newly created series, Beyond the Mask. In this ongoing segment, we will discuss what plague doctors are, what their purpose was, why they wore their strange attire, and much more. Today, we will talk a little about their origins. Plague doctors, in their more commonly known form, first appeared on the scene in Paris, France, during the 1619 outbreak, which began in the early 1400s and would continue for almost 400 years. As they were only seen in public when things were going badly, they were immensely unpopular from the start, and were wrongfully seen as harbingers of death, since no one knew where the sickness was coming from. Spoiler alert, it was the fleas carried by rats that did most of the work. As the superstitious people of Europe thought cats and dogs were the source, the natural predators of the infected rats were massacred in many countries and allowed the vermin to spread unchecked. Oops! As for their stylish attire, they were often seen wearing a bird beak mask stuffed with herbs, darkened or red-tinted lenses covering their eyes, a waxed linen robe, leather boots and gloves, and a wide-brimmed hat denoting their profession. And while their fashion sense wasn't exactly popular, it did provide a rudimentary means of defense against the sicknesses they were trying to treat. When one saw them walking into the homes of the sick and the dying, most knew what the outcome would be, but the populace was desperate to cling to any kind of hope they could find. Little did they know that sometimes the treatment could be worse than the disease. These were not men of science and reason, for many of them had very little formal medical training, and indeed, some had none at all. They used archaic methods such as bloodletting, frogs and leeches to balance out the humors of the body, and a wooden cane to examine their patients and point out problematic areas without touching them. And sometimes, that cane doubled as a means of self-defense against frightened townsfolk. These second-rate physicians were often the last person the dying would ever see, and as such, were sometimes tasked with taking the last will and testament of the patients. The main part of their jobs, however, was merely recording the deaths. I can only imagine what the interview process was like. "You there, my good sir. You look like you could be a clever fellow. How would you like to become a plague doctor?"
"But father..."
"Son?"
"Oh, fine. I mean, yes, I would love to be a plague doctor, but what do I have to do?"
"That's okay, my good sir. Don't worry about the training, it comes with the job. And there you have it, you're hired. Another plague doctor in training, everyone. Thank you for watching. This is Sanator Morbus of Plague Doctor Incorporated. Be safe, be well, and remember, wash your hands